Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another weekly edition of Midrank Madness. This is a game between KlepToManiaK and Ovi on Prion Terraces. So this is a Platinum versus Diamond game. Again, it was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Midrank Madness. I sent it to my screeners and this is the one that was chosen. So congratulations if you're either KlepToManiaK or Ovi. I'm not sure who sent this in, so I can be unbiased. In the top side of Prion Terraces, we have the red Protoss player. It is KlepToManiaK, representing DL on the down low. And in the bottom side of Prion Terraces, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Ovi. Looking good, Zerg player Ovi. APM check here in the early game. It looks like Ovi is spamming quite a bit, almost at 200 APM here, but currently KlepToManiaK running over 100. So both players kind of all over the map here. Current average kind of looking different, which is really weird to see. Professional players usually stay pretty consistent depending on what they're doing here. Looks like it's going to be a one-gate expand, walling off here on Prion Terraces. It's KlepToManiaK. Might go into an expansion here just based on what I'm seeing, and it is a hatch first from Ovi. The gold is down in the natural. So this is actually on the latest version of the map. This might be the first game that I've cast on that latest version of Prion Terraces that's on the ladder currently. I'm a couple weeks behind on that one, but here it is. We'll see how this affects the game. Again, I don't quite understand how moving it from here to here gets rid of the fact that this was a fairly Zerg-favored map for a long time that Terran and Protoss players did not enjoy when playing against the Swarm. If you figured it out, let me know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do together in discussing this. Good probe scout from KlepToManiaK, just checking things. Does see the spawning pool. Going to go and try to harass. Ooh, almost gets surrounded by some workers. Good job there by Ovi. Didn't pull all his workers to try to kill that probe, just 2 or 3 of them. Just the ones that were close by, almost took it down, forced it to actually get the heck on out of there. And the probe is going to run. I might see a forward pylon just based on what this probe is doing. Maybe just checking for a third hatch, which would have been easily done by running down there manually, or just the long way around, I guess. But actually no gas coming up here from Ovi. A gasless opening in a mid-rank madness for a Zerg. That's interesting. Usually low-level players are a little bit too scared to do anything without having that gas, without having those speedlings, especially against Protoss. But either this is an oversight or this is an intentionally gasless opening from Ovi where he's just going to go ahead and defend with queens and with slow lings and static defense and be happy about it. Definitely gas coming out of here from KlepToManiaK. 2 workers on each gas. Just kidding, it's 3. It is now 3. Cybernetics Core has finished. Is it going to be an Adept opening? I would go Adepts. I would go Adepts. Indeed it is. An Adept on the way here for KlepToManiaK. Now usually professional players at this point will have 2 gateways. You'll notice KlepToManiaK is floating a little bit of minerals here. Could have 2 gateways up and running, or 1 almost ready to go. And then you have 2 Adepts coming out here instead of 1. But as it stands, there's just the 1. There are some lings actually running up. How many total lings are there? 6. So 6 lings. Might just try to get up this ramp. There's nothing really holding this at all. Is there a mothership core? I don't know. Here they go. Oh, the Adept does pop out, though. Can they get us around on the Adept? No, they're ignoring the Adept. They're going for probes. Probes are running. Pretty good micro on display here. The Adept dancing back and forth. Pretty good micro there, too. And getting another probe kill. Yes, another probe kill. I like this early aggression from Ovi. Just running around, not holding still long enough for the Adept to catch them. Adept is using Psionic Transfer, which is very quick, though, and should be able to catch it. Gets a quick hit there off on the Nexus, and there are not enough lings to actually kill the Adept at this point, so they're going to split up, see what damage they can do. This one gets caught in the corner and actually does get killed by a probe. Nice job, probe. Today is your day. And they're just kind of scouting. I don't think they're actually intending to kill anything at this point, which is good because they're dead, and they are completely gone. But that was pretty good. I mean, what was it? 6 lings for 2 probes. That's a fair trade, I think, on both sides of things. A good scout, actually, from Ovi. Got all the way inside the main base. Didn't really see much of anything. Didn't see that higher tech, but the robo facility is going down there. There's an overlord in position to possibly scout in there and see what that higher tech is, because, again, he didn't see what it was on that first attack. This probe should be rallied. KlepToManiaK, I would highly recommend you rally your probes to minerals, especially if they're gold minerals. There's just extra minerals there for you to retrieve, and it's very sad if you sit outside your Nexus and don't go to work. There you are. My pep talk worked. Hooray, pep talk. Is that actually rallied? It is. Now it's rallied. All right. Third hatch there for Ovi, and any gas yet? Yeah, there we go. 4 gas now coming up. Queen count is at 5. So yes, definitely planning on defending whatever KlepToManiaK was going to bring out here with queens and with static defense and with slow lings. But as it turns out, nothing has really come across the map here from KlepToManiaK at all. There are some Adepts. There are some Stalkers. I think Ovi might have put a little bit of fear into KlepToManiaK with that early attack, that maybe a big attack of speedlings was coming next. Definitely want to hold that wall if that's the case. So just keeping all of his units inside his base, which is not a great idea playing against a Zerg, because the Zerg player will just out macro you so hard Good inject there by our friend Ovi. Getting a lair, excellent work. I like all the decisions made by both these players so far. These guys are looking good. Looking good for a mid-rank madness. Although I guess mid-rank madness can actually span all the way from gold up to diamond, and that's a pretty big jump. So some weeks we'll see some play that looks like it might actually belong in Into the Void, and some weeks we might see some play that actually feels like it belongs in the Masters or even GM level, possibly. Overlord does get killed, but does actually scout out the Robo Facility and the Robo Bay. That Overlord was a hero. Hero of the Swarm. Are these Lings even have speed yet? No, speed's on the way. They're getting there, and some roaches. This army is not necessarily that big, but they were planning to put some pressure on a third base that doesn't exist in case KlepToManiaK was a little bit greedy there. Maybe checking for a third up here, too. Yep, Overlord scouting on him there. Obi's everywhere, man. Obi is doing all the right things, hitting all the right notes. Is it going to be... Yep, Disruptor. Disruptor coming out from KlepToManiaK. Supply blocked, unfortunately. So keep those probes coming, keep those pylons coming, and try not to be supply blocked when you need to make important things like disruptors. Basic stuff here that is easy to forget, is hard to do throughout all the game, especially, I think, as a Zerg player, remembering your injects in addition to making overlords and drones. But Protoss also has to worry about keeping those probes coming, keeping those pylons coming. Their units are more expensive, more supply heavy, so you actually have to make pylons more often than the Zerg player has to make overlords, at least in the early game. Fourth base now coming up for Ovi. Yahoo! Ovi playing this so well. Although not seeing a third base here from Protoss basically means that an attack is imminent. At this point, it's 6-minute mark. If there's not a third Nexus coming up, they have an army. They're ready to come out, and here it is. Disruptor, Immortal, Stalker, Zealot, and Adept. I like this combination. I like this composition coming out of here from KlepToManiaK. Does a great job against roaches, against lings. I think might even need actually hydras to deal with this, with some good splits to deal with those Purification Novas. But right now it's just Roach, Ling, any speed. Yep, the Lings do have speed. Do the Roaches have speed? They don't. And speak of the devil, Hydras coming up. 7 Hydras and 8 Roaches in production right now, which is just perfect timing. The creep spread should slow this army down from KlepToManiaK just a little bit. And no, actually, you know what? They don't care. They're going to run onto this creep, start trying to kill stuff. Queens drawing the army away from the main area. Nope. Yes, it works. It works well. As the Queens are sacrificing themselves, but buying time for these Roaches and those Hydras to pop out. So excellent job. Supply blocked a little bit here is Ovi. Should make some Overlords to catch up with it, but instead he's just making more Roaches, more Hydras. And I like this composition. Pretty good split on the creep. Purification Nova does kill a few Roaches there, but that cooldown is still coming up. Another Nova comes on in and hits a Queen, bringing her health very low indeed. But KlepToManiaK wants nothing to do with this particular engagement and is going to retreat. So a couple Purification Novas there. How many units actually died? 3 Roaches? 3 Roaches, maybe a Hydra got caught in that Purification Nova too. Where is our Disruptor? 7 kills. Woo! Not bad for one single hit there from that Disruptor. Creep spread is continuing here for Ovi. Overlords on the way. Glial Reconstitution, Muscular Augments, and +1 Missile Attack. So definitely going heavy on the Roach Hydra is Ovi. I'm not sure if Roach Hydra is the greatest against the Disruptor play that KlepToManiaK is going for. But if you can engage on creep and use that speed bonus to kind of split and dodge those, you will be in a pretty good position. It's just avoiding those massive hits that kill so many of your units that is really the problem. I do like he's getting Muscular Augments and Glial Reconstitution, though, to increase the speed bonuses to both Roaches and Hydras, and getting some Ravagers, too. I like this. Corrosive Bile can be an excellent weapon with this particular composition that Protoss is going for. Is getting a third base behind this attack. Actually, behind the attack that was earlier. And is Obi going to be aggressive? Possibly. Possibly, yes. Not going for lurkers at all, just kind of spreading creep up the middle here, kind of pushing it onto this space, probably planning on taking a base there too, spreading up along this right side. This left side is a bit neglected, but could actually pop a creep tomb over here and fix that fairly evenly. I still don't like how creep looks on this map. It looks like it's sick, doesn't it? There's just patches and blotches all over the place. It's kind of gross. I mean, it's not as all-encompassing as it usually is. Couple Roaches, a little bit too overeager there. Run, Roaches. Nope. One gets destroyed right there on the creep. Corrosive Bile is tossed on down, and bam, bam, bam. And a Purification Nova misses everything. So it looks like we're going to see the battle of the splash damage attacks, as a Lurker Den is on the way for Ovi. I said no Lurkers, but there will be Lurkers. And an Infestation Pit getting +2/+2 on his missile attack and his ground carapace. Just playing very well. It's 51 to 49 Harvesters, so I mean Zerg player hasn't necessarily swelled way ahead in worker count compared to his opponent. 4 workers on that gas. Always check for this. Check to see if you have more workers on gas than 3, because you're just wasting worker time that way. Immortals in production for a Protoss player too. So no Warp Prism attacks, no harassments, no Phoenix, anything from KlepToManiaK. Just going straight for this. Oh, Nova catching a couple Ravagers and a couple Hydras there. Oh, Immortal on the front gets sniped down, but another Nova. Big deal. Oh, that one was good. That one was good. Ovi is not happy about that. 7 kills on that Disruptor, 8 kills on that Disruptor. Yeah, I mean, this combination, if you can't split accurately, if you can't run accurately, especially on creep, maybe going Roach Hydra isn't necessarily for you when it comes to playing against Disruptors. Maybe Lings might be a better idea. Some Lurkers, too, can be very, very good. Lurkers are morphing in, speaking of those devils. But here comes KlepToManiaK looking very strong indeed. Upgrade +1 attack on those ground units. What is it we have here? And that +1/+1 for the Zerg player, +2/+2 just about to finish, and +1 armor on the way for KlepToManiaK. So another player super on top of things with upgrades, but otherwise I'd say they're playing pretty well. 10 minutes into the game, 164 to 151 total supply. They are on their way to getting maxed out. A 4th base up here for KlepToManiaK, feeling pretty confident to go for that 4th. I'd like to see some Ling counterattacks from Ovi getting out there, really trying to find those bases, trying to force cancels, trying to kill drones, because probes rather. It looks like KlepToManiaK isn't really defending these with anything. Mothership Core is here with a single pylon, but Lings can deal with that, no big deal at all. Observers now mixed in here. They can take down creep tumors. Creep tumors are getting destroyed here, and the Lurkers and the spines. KlepToManiaK reacts to the spines very quickly, very efficiently. Lurkers burrowing in the range here pretty far, but again, 2 Disruptor shots, 2 Purification Novas, enough to kill a couple Lurkers. Look at that. Look at that micro on display from KlepToManiaK, taking out 2 Lurkers with 2 shots. Wow, that's why you got to split your Lurkers just a little bit better than that, Ovi. But not down and not out of it yet. More Purification Novas getting mixed on in, running. The Lurkers know what's coming here. They can see that edge of the creep. They're going to back on out, and there we go. There's the spread. More Lurkers coming up here too, and a bunch of cannons. KlepToManiaK heard me, said, you know what? You're going to try to kill my base with Lings? No siree. I will put up cannons. I will destroy everything that you own if you try to come here with your weak Lings. Rawr. All right, so continuing with the spread on the Lurkers and going for it. Is Ovi tired of this? Ovi might be tired of this. Purification of, oh, catching a big chunk. A big chunk of Roaches and Hydras there, but sniping down a Disruptor right at the front. Right at the front. That's the only one that's died so far. Yes, it is the only one that has died so far. Another Nova. Bam. Pretty good split, but not the greatest. Not the greatest. Resources lost tab. 4,200 minerals and 1,700 gas lost for Ovi compared to 600 and 300 for KlepToManiaK. Just absolutely on fire are these Disruptors. Another Nova comes in. Running off creep is so slow. It's so slow. Really got to stay on that creep. 4th base is just helping KlepToManiaK immensely. Has that gold. Has that double gold income. Both players on 2 gold, but I feel like this 5th base needs to get saturated by Ovi sooner rather than later, or things are not going to go well. +3/+3 on the way for these Roaches and Hydras does not help them survive a Purification Nova. However, they will still die to a Purification Nova that comes in, even with those upgrades. I'm pretty sure. Actually, Roaches, let's see. Roaches 145 health, Purification Nova, 145 splash damage. I don't know if a Nova is actually enough to kill a Roach that has +3 armor. I'm pretty sure it does, though. And actually, Purification Nova, catch the Roaches. Yep, enough to kill him with 2. I'd have to imagine the same for 3. Another Nova comes in. Ovi, you've got to switch your tactics up, man. You've got to get Ultras. You've got to get something. Mutas, Broodlords might be good here, too. Just standing on in, just trying to pick away at these units, but dodging Corrosive Biles very ably here is KlepToManiaK. A Zealot Warp in here down at the bottom. Got to watch out for those. Got to watch out for that kind of stuff. No static defense here back here whatsoever. There we go. Now there's some static defense coming up, but more Purification Novas just greatly weakening these Lurkers. They haven't killed much of anything either. The Lurkers have been aggressive and have been dangerous, but KlepToManiak's done a good job kind of staying out of the range there. And is he planning on mixing in Colossus? Because he's getting extended Thermal Lance and +3 attack now. Immortals mixed in here too. Now maxed out. 200 out of 200 for KlepToManiaK. 188 out of 200 for Ovi. And here come the Zealots. They're going after a hatch instead of the Workers. That is a mistake. That is a mistake. You can get in there and do these bases and get big eyes and think, if I can kill a hatchery, if I can kill a Nexus or a command center, that's going to really hurt my opponent. But if you try to attack it, take it down to 75% health and lose all your stuff, that is effectively doing nothing. Go after Workers, especially against Zerg. Going after drones is so annoying for Zerg players. Corrosive Biles effectively being used against that pylon, but I don't think that needed to happen necessarily. More Zealots coming in and just getting absolutely intercepted and manhandled. Corrosive Bile landing a little bit there. They're just ignoring everything. They're on a trench run. They're taking their hits. They're trying to hit that thermal exhaust port, and not going to happen. They're all completely dead. There is a single Phoenix trying to kill everything here, but the Lurkers can't do much about that. Ravagers can. Hydras can. There's an Ultralisk Cavern on the way here for Ovi. +3/+3 is going to be very, very good. For the +3 armor, good for the Ultras. Maybe not the +3 missile attack. You might want to go for some melee attack if that's what he's planning on doing. Income tab at this point, 1,500 versus about 1,700. Zerg player is up, and that gas income really favoring Zerg right now. What is going on with gas income? Not really using those gas geysers or here either. I guess KlepToManiaK does have enough gas to make things work. About 1,400 in the bank. Both players floating a pretty big bank right now, but they're both maxed out, so that's a little bit more forgivable. Zealots, man. So hard to kill. That armor, that health pool, very good. Spinecrawler useful in that situation, though. That's why you get Spinecrawlers in a 5th base. 5th base on the way for KlepToManiaK. Is this a 6th base? 6th base coming up for Obi. This is turning into... Oh, another one, too. Double expanding is KlepToManiaK, saying, I haven't really taken much damage at all from this Zerg player. I have my composition. I'm very proud of it. And I feel pretty safe from anything the Zerg player can do. Oh, man, look out. Purification Nova's not being used. Oh, one Disruptor dies a little bit unnecessarily there. Nova does take down a Lurker above ground there. And another Nova comes in. Goodbye, Ravagers. Ravagers are bigger, so actually a splash damage hit from a Purification Nova, not enough to actually kill that many of them compared to Roaches and Hydras that are smaller. So that radius is a lot more damaging. Corrosive Bile is landing on everything here, though. Purification Nova is coming in and destroying left and the right side. Ultra's trying to come in and crash through here, but they are not supported by much of anything whatsoever. Corosive Bile is used to cover the retreat. And yeah, I mean, those Novas were just massive. Those are some of the biggest hits I've seen on my channel in a long time. I don't know if Protoss has decided not to be using them as much, or if Zerg is able to deal with them a little bit better, but it's 197 to 200 total supply, 8 Ultras in production for Ovi, including chitinous plating, +1 melee attack, and 17 Hydras. So Hydra Ultra, again, a pretty good composition, really for anything. The Hydras sit in the back. Oh, is that the Purifier skin? I think it is. They just sit in the back, they deal the damage while the Ultras tank things. It actually takes a lot of Purification Novas to take down an Ultra. So if they can soak up those shots while the Hydras do their stuff, that can be pretty nice. Yeah, look at this Collector's Edition of Legacy of the Void, everyone. You get this Purifier skin for your Colossus. Very cool. Very cool indeed if you're a Protoss fan. Ultra at the front here does have 8 total armor. Very difficult to kill. Immortals still pretty good against them, but how many Immortals are there? 3? Not exactly a high number. Not exactly a high number at all, but the Ultras coming in front. Hydras in the back. This is what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Here come the Ultras crashing on through. Purification Novas being used on the Hydras to great effect, though. The Colossus just absolutely melting everything, standing on in the back, but coming through anyway, losing units, losing Ultras. Are there any Ultras left? No, there are not. There are so many Colossus here to run back, Ovi. Oh, that was not good at all. What was... Man, mostly the Colossus. That +3 attack, 15 damage times 2, range of 9. It's not what it once was, but it's still very scary indeed. Corrosive Bile manages to hit a single Stalker. And yeah, I think this might be it for Obi. Not looking good for him at all, ladies and gents. Spinecrawler on the top trying to stab away. Yep, the extended thermal lance being used to great effect here, killing drones, killing static defense. Production tab, 4 more Ultras, 5 Lurkers, 5 Roaches in production here too. And I don't think this is the right way to go. If you're Ovi, you have a lot of money, or you had a lot of money in the bank. You were able to remax, but you went with the exact composition that kind of crushed you the last time. In all honesty, are there better upgrades now? I guess there's that +1. Adrenal glands coming up too. Some lings would be nice. That's a weird forward gateway. Maybe that's for the warpins that we were seeing earlier. Zealots walking right past that army. I don't know if Obi saw that at all, because he's not sending any units to intercept this. They're going to go to town on one of these bases. And coming in once again, that's a great position by KlepToManiaK, though, just standing in that choke. And now here we go. One Ultra just gets absolutely eviscerated. Trying to do this again with the Roach Hydra, and it's just not working. Lurker's trying to spine in, doing a lot of damage here, but the extra damage from the extended thermal lance just absolutely annihilating everything, catching everything on fire here. Ultra's trying to fight Roaches, Hydra's trying to fight Ravagers, throwing down Corrosive Bile. All that's really left here are the Colossus, but that's pretty scary in and of themselves. The Immortals too mixed on in, and the Ultra goes down to the Immortals. The Immortal Colossus with some Zealots mixed in here too. Absolutely a perfect choice for KlepToManiaK, especially considering they have charge. They're forcing the entire army back. This base is under great assault. A big swell of lings with adrenal glands show up, though. These Zealots should be dead, but only after killing a whole bunch of drones. 22 drones have been killed. It is now 63 to 44 harvesters, 155 to 91 total supply. And here comes a Stalker, Zealot, Immortal, Colossus army. I think he could just pretty much win right here if he wanted to. These Lings are not that great against Colossus. Not at all. They get melted. Melted by Colossus like they're not even there, assuming the beams are swiping accurately. Lings are trying to get up. The 400 cannons, though. Look at so many cannons this is. Get through the line, kill all of these probes. There's only 3 of them, I guess, and they're going for a Nexus on a base that's already mined out. Now, they might get this, and that's it. A GG from Ovi. Ovi is defeated, KlepToManiaK is victorious, and Ovi has left the game. Yeah, I was going to say, not looking good for our Zerg player. He had so many bases. It's just, the income was looking great. For a long time, he had about 70 harvesters. That's where he wanted to be. I think he just went the wrong composition. Looking at units lost here, 62 Lings, 50 Hydras, 49 Roaches, 14 Ultras, 16 Lurkers, 20 Ravagers lost for Ovi. Meanwhile, 44 Zealots, 3 Colossus, 8 Immortals, 10 Adepts, 39 Stalkers, 6 Disruptors. The numbers just don't seem as high for the Protoss player. Yeah, 14,900 minerals lost, 5,000 gas lost for KlepToManiaK, 21,800 minerals lost, and 11,200 gas lost for Ovi. Just incredibly cost-effective was KlepToManiaK in this game. The splash damage especially very effective. Disruptor play early, Colossus play late. Did exactly what you want to do if you're facing up with a Zerg player who just wants to hit you head on with ground units. Go Immortals, go Disruptors, go Colossus, and call it good. I honestly think Ovi might have wanted to switch into maybe a Corruptor Broodlord type play or something to do with these Colossus in that last battle. What I also like about that is that Disruptors aren't really a factor whatsoever. The Stalker count was never super high. I don't think there were 6 at the total. 39 there were lost throughout the game. So Blink Stalkers might have been a threat. There was really no way for KlepToManiaK to tech switch into Templar or into Tempest, though. I guess he did have a single Stargate, so maybe not as hard, but still a little bit of a harder transition than just transitioning right into Colossus after Disruptor. But either way, well played by both of these players. Congratulations to KlepToManiaK being our winner this week, and thanks for sending the replay in. Again, if you want to be featured on Midrank Madness, send a replay of your gold, gold, platinum, or diamond level play to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Midrank Madness. I'll get it to my screeners. We'll take a look at it, and we will cast the ones that are awesome. All right, so that's it for me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. Go ahead and hit me up on Facebook and on Twitter, both at /FalconPaladin. And also stick around to see the end of the game, where there's a song by our very own composer. It is the song Adune. So again, check that out. Hit the link in the bottom to see more stuff from Don Campbell. And that's it. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.